question is, if I could relive my life, live my life over again, what would I do different? You know, I've been asked that question quite a few times, and quite often, more lately, as I've gotten older, I've been blessed to live a lot longer than most people do in this life, and I've given that quite a lot of thought. And I suppose there's some things that I would change, but I wouldn't change too much, because at the time, after I became a Christian, in October, before I turned my 24 in December, I've tried to follow the Lord. Of course, I've made mistakes, perhaps many, but I think one thing that I would probably do, when I started out in the ministry and everything, they voted on you every year and that, and we didn't have churches full time. So the first 7 or 8 years, I still worked at the Pure Corporation and supervision and management and that. And I have moved a lot and enjoyed. It seems like that's been my ministry. For a long time, I would help pick up churches that were struggling, or a group would want to start a church. And I was blessed to have a dear, good wife. And I'm sure it must have hurt her, but she never complained. We moved out of a house that was only 2 years old, beautiful new house, moved into an old 2-story parsonage, and I left the corporation to go full time in the ministry, although we'd always been there for quite a while. But as we moved around and things of that nature. And I think one thing, in family and marriage counseling, I've been privileged to do quite a lot of it, and of course in chaplain work, we talk to a lot of people going through difficult problems. I think I would try to spend more time with my family. I travel a lot, but we didn't have many full-time ministers in the Free Will Baptist denomination. That was a new denomination to me, really, when I was saved in it and started out. And when I left the Purity Corporation, it was heyday for revivals in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even back into the 50s. And I got called for a lot of revivals across the denomination. I jokingly told some people I didn't think it was because I could preach good, because I know I couldn't preach good, but I think there's a lot of people wanting to know what kind of man it was to leave a good job and take a church for $50 a week. But that's kind of a joke, you know. But I think it's a combination of different things. Of course, when other people are available. And then I thought of it this way: God promised to take care of us, and He does, far more than we deserve most of the time. And with a wife and 3 children, I took in far more money preaching revivals than I got as a pastor. But the combination of it all, we were able to eat, have clothes, do some things. So perhaps that was God's way of fulfilling what He said He would do. If we'd step out on faith, He would take care of us. And of course, another thing, too often we look for, we want our wants instead of what our needs are. It's quite a big difference in that. But of course, I thank God yet how many times that my kids are all in the ministry, because I've had many pastors tell our pastors to call me. It's heartbreaking, even in the wee hours of the night. What did you do? You must have done something. And I've gone to jail to see other pastors that I think are good men in that, but the kids ended up on drugs and that, and in jail and in prison, and I preached some of the funerals. And I don't say that to degrade anyone, any pastor, but and that's why I guess I bow my head so often. I say, Lord, what did I do? And I know I had a wonderful prayer wife. Prayer would not go. And I think my kids would say that they never heard Mom and I discuss a church problem in their presence. Although we dealt with different types of people for starting churches and organizing churches and that sort of thing. But that, of course, we went to youth camp with you kids, took you in, and we directed a lot of youth camps. I still have kids, some of them in the ministry now that call me and have a problem in the night. Say, I need some mature advice, and I don't know what you said to the pastor about this, about the other. And so that's a real blessing too, that they have that much respect. And still want to Gladys died, we call her afraid. When we had the young kids or youth camps and that, it was hard. We went to a lot of different states. Mom worked, led the kitchen, prepared the meal for me, and I was the director. They always wanted me to, for some reason, teach mission classes. We always had a mission class in the campsite directed, but back then they didn't have someone living on the campground like they do now. And so they would call a pastor. That's how I got acquainted into Illinois. Called from Missouri camps, Illinois, and different places. We directed camps in Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Started some of those camps in tents. And up in Maryland for the Northeast Association, Atlantic Association up here. And on, you know, and I served as mission teacher in several other states. They want me to come because I had family going into the mission after the years. So, one thing I think for our kids, I tell people, tell other pastors, God knows how many that's come to me, I don't know what I did. We must do something. I said, well, I just tried to serve the Lord. But I tell them, I think one thing that our kids do that we have working for us, I believe if we'd ask any one of them, I'll still say our children, not just mine brothers, that they would tell you that they believe we were in it for real. There are people who don't minister because it looks easy. That's why I've always told the board from that. I will not lay hands. I told this a few years back on anybody unless they will admit that they are willing to enter whatever, some work of God, like pastor or a mission field or something that needs. Because I've seen and experienced times people just want to get ordained so they can do weddings and preach a funeral. You don't have to be ordained to preach a funeral, but anyhow, sometimes young people will see it, particularly years back, more so I think than even today. You see a man standing there with a necktie and all this and that, and that looks easier. They want to be like that. And that's one thing that I've served on a lot of ordaining councils and shared most of them that I've been on at some time. And that's one place I really question somebody. Are you sure that God is leading you? God wants you in this. But anyway, going back to the real thing, would I do something different? I try to serve the Lord even better. And I try to spend more time. But the fact that we went to camp and I directed the youth camp that you kids are in, we always tried to go, you know, you all remember camping out in tents and going things, so we spent some time with you, quite a bit, you know, and we went to the National, took you to the Nationals and everything like that. And it's easy to get sentimental as you get older and look back. And I see somebody now, I hope they're giving their best to those kids. You know, since Gladys has been gone 2 years this month, I'm sitting in the restaurant meeting and I see a couple come in because they don't know me. I mean, many times it's just, I see and I'm wondering, do they really know how far they want to be together and how quick that could end? Just like today, Mom, I was going to go see Dorothy I just thought it all out and felt sorry for him and wanted me to go and all that before he called back. But just, she was on the phone with Judy, so I guess Judy's wife wanted to talk to her, she was on the phone, of course, she wanted to go home. But how quick the whole thing can change, just like what we see on TV. So, but I tell one to serve the Lord, I might consider, knowing what I know now, I think I did right at the time, because I helped a lot of churches that were struggling and going. Even when I went to Bear Point Church in Illinois, I left. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made, leaving Parkland. It was growing so fast and everything, I hardly knew what to do with it. But of course, I had to, they split wide open on the building, March left and somewhere else and that. Two families voted against me because Mark and I have a brother-in-law, figured I'd be like him, or but those two families in 3 weeks, and that was the Spans. Their daughters, I went back there, colleague and them, with my phone. They became the best friends I had. And what's her name, I see her too. They're all living in Halloween and all that. They come all the way to the capital Delaware to see us, get to see us. Welcome. Coming down here, they come to Florida to see us. But at the time, to God be all the glory, but we've got little churches and pick them up, get them back on their feet and that. And of course, started several, but I wonder what it would be like if we just stayed in one area Of course, I feel guilty in one way when I talk that way because you met Susan at Bible college. Jim met Julie. And you've all lived your family, you got grandchildren still together. I kind of joked around Missouri. I was back, I said, well, I wanted one of my kids to get to Missouri. Made, so I brought Judy back. She married Ken Bailey, and he took her to Japan. But, things like that, the old expression, hindsight's always 20/20. But at the time, maybe I was selfish about it, but I've always, I don't understand. I have members, we got 18 with the names on our state paper right now. One place it's preached, and some of them called me, and I fill in for you. I've always, and I know I'm not that good. I don't let Satan trick me there. But God uses you if you're willing. Do the best you can. And I believe, and I tell them, I believe the call to service is a call to preparation. There's always room, and always will be room to improve. And I want to be a better preacher next Sunday than I was this past Sunday. And I will never lose my compassion for people, hurting people. And so, but I thought a lot about the fact that but maybe my kid would be where they're at if I hadn't went ahead and served the Lord and done, tried to set an example with that. And I think sometimes maybe I was selfish, moving so much, but that's something that I think I would consider. I might have been able to build a big church if I'd have stayed in one place, but it seemed like I felt like it was in God's will, and where I went. And I've never been asked to leave the church, and I've always been blessed. And people that still live in where we've ever been still contact us because how much we meant to them, what a loving, caring life I had. I've been told in the last week or two that even the lady that drove me to the airport last Monday said, we were talking at the church the other day about you and Gladys, or she said about you and Miss Turnbough, she said, I'll never be able to address your wife or her first name. It has to be Mrs. Turnbough. I have respect for her. And so But anyway, that's, it's easy to say I would have done it this way or that way or the other, but I wanted to serve the Lord. God has always opened a place for me, and I got more places now than I can fill if I wanted to take them. I've got several calls that I've turned down wanting me this fall for homecoming right here in Newcastle, Delaware, Florida, and all these places. And that makes you feel good that you must have done something right. But I knew anywhere I was at, I knew your mother was praying for me. Whether she sat in the pew in front of me at home sick, she was praying. So, I guess overall, I've had a pretty good life. But the greatest blessing of all is seeing my children and grandchildren